everybody, it's Eileen Laird from Phoenix Helix, and it's my 5-year healing diet anniversary, and I thought it would be fun to share the 5 things I've learned over the past 5 years. Hopefully I've learned more than 5, but these are 5 highlights. For those of you who don't know my story, rheumatoid arthritis hit my life like a wrecking ball back in 2012. I had been a woman who was very fit, physically active. I hiked on the weekends for fun. I worked full-time as a deep tissue massage therapist. And within 6 months, RA had disabled me. I was limping crossing my living room. I didn't have the strength in my hands or wrists to lift a plate or a dish, never mind do massage. And I was living with excruciating pain every single day. I was gasping and crying. It was terrifying, it was horrifying. It's difficult to revisit those memories. If any of you are having that experience right now, I've been there, I know what it's like. I'm not there anymore. And my healing diet and lifestyle, I am filled with gratitude for how much it helped my life. So, the first thing I learned is that it's a lifestyle. It's not temporary. I had hoped it would be temporary. I had hoped that within 6 to 12 months it would cure me, that I would never have rheumatoid arthritis again, and that I could actually go back to the life I was living before, eat anything I wanted, and not really worry that much about my health. That didn't happen. But what did happen is it took me from a life of pain and disability back to a full and beautiful life again. It totally changed the way rheumatoid arthritis manifested in my body. Instead of something that knocked me down so hard, I really didn't know if I could ever get up again. Now it's something that's part of who I am, but it is absolutely not all of who I am, and it's very well managed. So I'm very grateful for that. So while we can't cure ourselves, we can make huge, huge impacts in how we feel. The second thing I learned is that it's about more than just the food. It's about getting enough sleep, prioritizing sleep, watching out for our circadian rhythm so that we can sleep well, doing the best we can during the times when we have pain to get good sleep, and know that as our pain improves, sleep improves too. It means managing stress. It means getting out in the sunshine and getting vitamin D. It means exercising in whatever way our bodies will allow. It means making time for joy. It means breathing deeply. All sorts of things. I mean, whenever it comes to health, no matter what diet you follow, I think we can all agree that a healthy lifestyle supports health. And so I certainly learned that. That said, food is really important. So I do follow a personalized version of the Paleo Autoimmune protocol. What that means is I did the elimination phase of the AIP, as it's also called, for a while, and then I carefully reintroduced foods, and there are articles and books on my website to describe that whole process for you. And by that reintroduction process, I was able to figure out what foods I had to stay away from because they're inflammation triggers for me, and which foods I could let back into my diet. So the food is important. Figuring that out for me was really important. And another thing that's really important when it comes to food is don't eat boring food. When you first go on a healing diet, you lose a lot of the recipes you're used to. You often just get in this remove mode where you just remove foods and you're stuck eating kind of the same thing over and over again that's boring and flavorless. And that will just make you miserable. You're less likely to stick with it. And if you do stick with it, it's less likely to work, just because emotional wellness really impacts our health as well. And I do believe food should be both delicious and joyful. So again, lots of resources on my website, phoenixhelix.com. I host a weekly recipe roundtable every week where bloggers share really creative and delicious recipes. My healing store on my website has all of the cookbooks that are available now. 5 years ago, there were none. Now there are over 30, so it's amazing what this community has created together as we have healed together. So I eat really delicious food now, and even though I've had the opportunity to reintroduce some foods again that I hadn't had in years, they didn't usually live up to my expectations or my memory. They didn't taste as good as I remembered. And the foods I eat now are flat out awesome. So food should not be boring, it should be really good. So number 4 is that we aren't in this alone, and what I just described for you is a good example of that. There's been a huge community that's grown up, the Paleo Autoimmune community, and I am so grateful to be a part of it. And I love each and every one of you within this community. So if you are just starting this lifestyle, tap into that global community because there's so much support there. On Facebook, on Instagram, social media, through the blogs like mine, there are a lot of people walking this path with you. And it's just so much easier to know that you're not alone and to lift each other up and to have people you can ask questions of. And if you can also get support in your real life, I think that's really important too. My husband's been incredibly supportive. If he was bringing home pizza and beer every night, I don't think I would have done as well for the past 5 years as I have. I've had conversations with my family and friends. Those relationships are really important to me. I don't expect them to change their diets, but I do expect them to respect mine. So that's another thing I learned. And then what was number 5? Oh, it shouldn't be your entire life. A healing diet and lifestyle permeates your life. It's part of who you are. It's part of how you live. But it's not all you are or all about how you live. I think it's really easy to get obsessed when you have a chronic illness and you want to feel better. And in the beginning, there's a lot to learn. So you're doing a lot of research, you're connecting with a lot of people, you're very passionate, you're seeing results, you're excited, often you want to share those with other people, and that's fine. But at some point in the process, you need to widen your perspective again, and you need to get to a point where you're not thinking about your health every second of every day, and you're doing things that are just fun and silly again, and your interests broaden beyond the health sphere. And that was something that was really important to me. I want a fuller and balanced life. My healing diet, the Paleo Autoimmune protocol, and the lifestyle has allowed me to reclaim my life and my health, but I don't want to waste it by just spending the whole time obsessed about it. Does that make sense? So I believe that's 5 things, and there are lots more, but that's enough for today. Thank you for celebrating my anniversary with me. If you don't know me, again, my name is Eileen Laird from phoenixhelix.com. Come to my website, say hello. I'm one of the leading websites for the Paleo Autoimmune protocol, but also for autoimmune health in general. And I'm going to say bye now, and also say go do something fun that has nothing to do with health. And that will actually be the best thing you can do for your health.